I was talking to a client last week, and right in the middle of our session, she goes, "Yeah, but are you just saying that? It's your job to make me feel good." And I laughed so hard I almost spit out my coffee because no, that is not my job. Do I love that you feel better after we talk? Absolutely. But not because my job is to say things that make you feel good. My job is to help you get past the thoughts that are keeping you stuck and look at some new ones that can help you get unstuck and get you free. And the way that I do that is not by making you feel good all the time. In fact, a lot of times it's by making you feel really, really uncomfortable, by pushing you out of the comfort zone you know into a discomfort zone you don't. I call this unfamiliar discomfort. And that's what I want to talk about today, because there are two very different kinds of discomfort. There's the discomfort you're used to, the kind that built the life that you are living right now. And then there's the discomfort that you're not used to, unfamiliar discomfort, the kind that can and will change your life. And maybe I'm just guessing here, but I have a hunch that you already are pretty comfortable feeling uncomfortable. You're a pro at it. So the question is, if you're going to be uncomfortable either way, why not choose the discomfort that will actually change something? Let's talk about it. So back to the moment that I am spitting out my coffee. It wasn't really because of what she said. It was so ironic because less than a couple hours earlier, I had just spent an entire group session doing the exact opposite with another client. I was making her feel really uncomfortable. Or if I am going to say it in a way that makes me not sound like a monster, I was helping my client expand her tolerance for unfamiliar discomfort, helping her feel in her body that her nervous system could handle that discomfort way longer than she thought she could. 1 hour and 3 minutes longer, to be exact. And I'm going to get to that 1 hour, 3 minute long session in a minute. But first, let's talk about familiar versus unfamiliar discomfort. And let's start with familiar. This is the discomfort you already know. You are used to this. You know the discomfort of exhaustion. You know the discomfort of having to walk on eggshells, of managing everyone's moods and feelings. This discomfort doesn't feel good, but you've gotten used to it. Let me give you a very simple example that you'll probably be able to relate to. There was a very long stretch of my life where my feet always hurt every single day. And it was because the shoes I was wearing were bought for one reason and one reason only, because they were cute, because they looked good with an outfit. If they were cute enough and they hurt, I wore them anyway. And after a while, I just stopped noticing. It was just my feet hurt every day. That was the deal. That's a very concrete example of familiar discomfort. In your life, you choose familiar discomfort because it feels easier. For example, you're in a situation that feels really hard and you need it to stop. Maybe someone is getting upset and you need them to not be upset. So you jump in. You intervene, you de-escalate, however that looks. Maybe you are people-pleasing or energy managing. Maybe you have run 100 steps ahead to fix this problem. Whatever kills the pain in this exact moment, because getting ahead of their mood feels easier than dealing with the fallout. And listen, sometimes it's genuinely the call you need to make for whatever reason, no shame in it. But underneath, there is a pattern. And this familiar discomfort doesn't change it. Familiar discomfort gives you relief now, but it's feeding the pattern. It's perpetuating the pattern. Familiar discomfort hurts, but it's not scary because you've been living in it for years. Now, unfamiliar discomfort, that hurts and it feels scary. But that is how you build the life you want. Unfamiliar discomfort is the non-negotiable price of changing a pattern for good. So let me give you an example. Let's use the same situation. Someone's getting upset, But this time, I'm going to choose unfamiliar discomfort. I'm playing the long game. I am choosing to not intervene. I'm choosing to not give in, not walk on eggshells, not energy manage. And in that moment, everything in my body feels awful. There is no little hit of like, ooh, that was a close one, but you fixed it. Your nervous system is like, this is way worse. It's not actually. It's just a feeling you're not used to. Think of it like an equation you use every day in running your life. If they do this, then I do this, and that equals this result. When you have the same variables every time, everything just goes ahead on as usual. But if you change one variable in that equation, the only one you actually do control, which is you and how you show up, if this variable changes because you are swapping the familiar discomfort of people-pleasing and energy managing for the unfamiliar discomfort of not energy managing people-pleasing, the equation breaks. The outcome has to change. The catch is, it doesn't happen immediately. It doesn't happen in that instant to give you the relief, but it does get easier over time. So the real skill isn't how to set a boundary. It's staying in the discomfort of holding that boundary, because your nervous system does not care that you're going to feel better in a month. Its whole job is to keep you safe right now. So the second you're holding firm and the other person is just not having it, your nervous system will scream at you to give in, because giving in seems easier, but that's just because it's what you know. The only way past that is to teach your nervous system that this unfamiliar discomfort is new, but it's not dangerous and you can handle it, which leads me to the 1 hour and 3-minute session with my client. Now, this is a client I've worked with both privately and in groups for years, and her identity has for sure shifted. She has shifted from a woman who constantly overthinks and overanalyzes and beats herself to a bloody pulp in order to keep herself in line. That's what she was. To the identity of a woman who knows what she brings to the table and is willing to take risks because she trusts herself to handle anything. Her default setting is solidly calm AF now. And not coincidentally, that calm AF default setting earned her a promotion, a new leadership role, which brings, like most new roles do, a whole bunch of things she doesn't know how to do yet. So, of course, her nervous system is kind of freaking out because everything feels uncomfortable and unfamiliar. So her nervous system is like, say no more, I got you. And it reaches back into that backpack and pulls out old reliable, the hypervigilance, the overthinking, the beating herself up. So she brings this to the call. She says, I'm frustrated with myself. I don't know what's going on, but I am just really beating myself up again. And the second she says it, I know this is a big nothing burger. Her nervous system just got shaky around all the unfamiliar new things, so it grabbed onto something familiar. And when it comes to your nervous system, familiar always wins, even when it doesn't get you what you want. And she didn't really need me to coach her on that. We have done that work. She already knows why she beats herself up and why it isn't the answer. In this moment, she just needed a reminder that this is what's happening. No big deal. Keep showing up as who you are now. And so I gave her that reminder. Took about 5-10 minutes. But then I kept going. Now, if you've never been in one of my groups before, let me set the scene for you. Picture a room full of hypervigilant, hyper-conscientious, endlessly, incessantly thoughtful women. They are all painfully aware of how much time they are using in this group call, how much time they are potentially taking away from someone else who might need it. I am constantly telling them, stop apologizing for taking up space here. So I kept going. I'd made my point 10 minutes ago. I'd made my point 20 minutes ago. And she knew it. She kept trying to wrap things up. Bless her heart. Like, yeah. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much. And I just kept going. This is not my first day here. I know exactly what I'm uncomfortable, please move on. sounds like. So I just stayed right there with her. And I'm assuming because she trusts that even when she doesn't know why I'm doing what I'm doing, I've probably got a reason. She stayed with me for an entire hour and 3 minutes. I asked her permission to share a tiny clip, not the coaching part, just the very last minute, so you can hear in her own voice what the other side of staying in unfamiliar discomfort all the way through sounds like. This is just a big moment for you.
Yes. It does feel like that.
Thanks for hanging in there, though.
Yeah. I have to admit,
You wanted to hide?
I'm like, we're just gonna move on to somebody else right now.
Yeah, I
But
know.
you can tell.
It's not because I'm like picking on. I wanted to show her and all of you, just stay here a minute. Don't run away. Just stay here a minute. It's going to be fine. We're going to get to the other side of this at some point. This will end. But first, I'm going to bring home some points. I'm going to show you that you can be uncomfortable. I don't mind. I'm fine with your discomfort.
I can tell. No.
I'm good with it. I know how to do that. No, but it is. This is how you break through. You just need to get real uncomfortable and see that you can get all the way through it. Good job.
Thank you.
See, by the end, we were laughing because you know this feeling. Like you have to give a speech or you have a hard conversation or you have to do something that you've been dreading. And then you finally do it. That feeling on the other side, it is almost euphoric. That's what expanding your capacity actually looks like. And the only way out is through. You've got to get through, but it's just staying. It's just choosing not to run away, not to hide. Just stay 1 more minute, stay 2 more minutes, stay 1 hour and 3 minutes right here with me. And in that time, her nervous system learned something brand new. I can stay in this uncomfortable and unfamiliar feeling for the sake of something I actually want. I do not bring back an old pattern just because it feels familiar. And that hour is now hers to keep. She can file that away as proof. The next time something unfamiliar and uncomfortable shows up, she will remember, I have done this before. I can do it again. So back to the question. If you're going to feel uncomfortable either way, then why not, as often as you can, choose the discomfort that's going to change something. Choose the discomfort that's going to create the life you want. And I promise you, this unfamiliar discomfort does get easier over time because every time you hold a boundary, every time you don't say yes immediately and you give yourself a little space to think about it, every time you don't beat yourself up or people please or walk on eggshells, every time you see that you have moved through to the other side, it gets easier. Familiar discomfort that you're used to, that just feels hard forever. And it keeps things the same. If you want more of the same, keep choosing familiar. And remember, when you hear me say something like get comfortable being uncomfortable, I am not talking about let's see how long you can sit in this anger before you explode. I mean, do the thing that's the opposite of what's making you angry in the first place. Choose unfamiliar discomfort. All right. Thank you for listening, and thanks to my client for letting me share that clip. If you don't know your familiar discomfort pattern off the top of your head, make sure you go take my quiz. It's called Which Dysregulation Type is Keeping You Stuck? The link is in the show notes, and after you take it, you will learn your pattern and how to change it. Grab the daily recalibration. It's a short reminder that lands in your inbox every morning to remind you to lean into the good kind of uncomfortable, the kind that's going to create what you want. All right. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.